The other day, I was thinking about Calvin and Hobbes, as one does, specifically this one comic strip where Calvin and Hobbes are walking outside, and Calvin bursts out, "What if somebody calls us a pair of pathetic peripatetics?" Hobbes reacts realistically, and then says, "I've never heard of anyone taking the trouble to rhyme weird insults." I decided right then and there that someone was in fact going to take the trouble to rhyme weird insults, and that person was gonna be me. First step was to break down Calvin's example insult. A pair of pathetic peripatetics. What the heck is a peripatetic? I had to look this up, but it is a person who travels from place to place. So literally the most generic, watered down insult possible. But what makes it hit hard is the fact that it rhymes and is an alliteration, meaning that all the words start with the same letter. I freaking love wordplay like this. You could even say that I was captivated by the creativity of Calvin's insults, and the challenge of creating catchy combinations consumed me. Or you could also say that I found Calvin's alliterative affront atypically alluring. I tried to come up with similar insults on my own, but it is surprisingly difficult. Right off the bat, I decided to forget about the rhyming part because it was hard enough just to focus on alliterations. The most effective method I could figure out was opening two Google tabs and searching for synonyms, and then I'd flick back and forth between the tabs looking for synonyms that started with the same letter. But this was tedious, and it took forever, and I knew there had to be a better way. So, I aimed to automate the art of alliteration. The first step was coming up with an algorithm, and it was pretty simple. Step 1. Take two input words that you want to alliteratize. Step 2. Generate a list of synonyms for both words. Step 3. Take the first letters of these words and put them into a set. Step 4. Take the intersection of these two sets. Step 5. Go back to the list of synonyms and take only the words that start with the letters in the set. Step 6. Match the words that start with the same letter, and bam, you got alliterations. This was super simple to set up in code. It was maybe 10 lines tops. The hardest part was just getting the synonyms to use in the first place. I used a little tool called Beautiful Soup that scrapes thesaurus.com to get synonyms for any word you want. And it does it without you having to actually visit the website and click on buttons and type stuff in like a sucker, because that is way too slow for a military-grade insult generator like this one. So if you combine these two functions together, you get a little program I like to call the Alliterator. Except it's butt ugly right now, because you have to type everything into the console, and that is unacceptable, so I made a website for it instead. But enough talk, it's time to show you what this bad boy can do. Spicy meme becomes flavorsome fad. Boring meeting becomes repetitious rendezvous. Funny picture? Entertaining engraving. Ice cream? Permafrost paste. I like that one. Tough guy? Oh, we got options for tough guy. Brawny brother. Durable dude. Indigestible individual. Mighty male. Happy bunny becomes cheerful cottontail, or perhaps laughing lagomorph. But enough of this, let's go to the insults. Let's say I wanted to call somebody an ugly person. Instead I could go with bad-looking body, grizzly guy, hideous human, or misshapen mortal. Or maybe I'm feeling stupid guy. Instead we could go with brainless bloke, dim dude, foolish fellow, gullible gentleman, that one might be my favorite, ill-advised individual, or moronic male. And let's bring it full circle and see what it can do with pathetic peripatetic. It looks like Calvin could have responded with inadequate itinerant, miserable migrant, or pitiful perambulant. And bam, just like that, we have a fully functional, industry-standard, alliteration generating website. Oh, and right after I finished making it, ChatGPT came out and made the whole project irrelevant. But we're just going to ignore that little detail. So to wrap things up, this was one of my weirder coding adventures so far, but I had a ton of fun, and now I have a whole list of insults locked and loaded next time somebody disparages me with a weird rhyming insult. Hobbes said it couldn't be done. But finally, at long last, someone has stepped up to the Tiger's challenge. Someone has aimed to automate the art of alliteration, and has actually, arguably, achieved their aspirations. Or in other words, this pea-brain pinhead produced a Pythonic pile of poop.